Hey everyone, Derek here, and this is episode 17. This is the second last episode of my 80-day trip to Japan. All 3 phases have been completed, and I've got 2.5 weeks left. I've made my way from Sapporo to Odaiba, where I'd be staying for about a week. The rest of the trip was meant to be sort of a wind down from all the crazy adventures. I guess after I go to 4 concerts in 3 days again, that is.
It's Tokyo Big Site. Where the Comic for the gigantic conventions. Anime conventions and whatnot. Pretty cool. I get this nearby. Hello, I am very tired. I am very hungry. I'm in Odaiba in the Sotetsu Grand Fresa Inn. I just had a 10-hour trip from Sapporo. I'm finally here. I'm gonna chill. I gotta find a place to do laundry. Yeah, this is the room. So here's a room tour. Nice big bed, which is, typical size. It's all right. Ceiling is kind of high, which is different and nice, surprisingly. Yeah, typical controls, no phone. Pretty good. I'm gonna be here for 7 nights, so it's gotta be pretty decent. We're at the tail end here.
The day after I arrived back in Tokyo, I went to Saitama Super Arena for the 5-day music festival Viva La Rock. It was their 10-year anniversary. I got tickets for the last 3 days since there were bands that I wanted to see in each of those days. The first day highlights for me were checking out Creepy Nuts as well as Bish. I saw Bish at the beginning of my trip, and so it kind of feels full circle seeing them again towards the end of my trip. Bish was actually due to break up just a few months after this, so it was cool to catch them for what would be my second and last time ever. They didn't play my favorite song again. They did play with a full band this time, which was cool. The no photo or video policy was well enforced here, but I did sneak some photos in between bands. The security didn't seem to mind that. Standing wasn't on the agenda for me, so I planted myself on one of the arena seats and enjoyed the back and forth between the main stages. I don't know why, but arenas in Japan feel way bigger than in Toronto.
This is my hotel, just outside of my hotel garden thing. It's a nice spring day. It's a little windy, but it's pretty cool. I like this area quite a bit. I don't know how much of it you can really see. It's just kind of open space, but I like that. You can see it's windy as fuck. Love the architecture here, though.
The next day, I decided to wander around Odaiba. It was insanely windy this day, and so I'm trying my best to not get blown away by the wind or lose my hat. I actually really love how wide and large everything is here. It's very different from the rest of Tokyo, where things feel busy and narrow all the time. You're always kind of brushing shoulders. I do enjoy both, but this was a nice change of pace. That is until I got to Diver City. It's crazy packed inside, so I didn't film. And hey look, the poop museum. Unko means poop. In the evening, I went yet again to Saitama, this time to catch Cold Rain and Maximum the Hormone. Both of these bands were playing Knotfest Day 2, which I happily skipped in favor of going to see Baby Metal. I knew I'd catch them both here, and so it worked out very nicely. Both bands were awesome. Maximum the Hormone is absolutely nuts, and their fans go wild. Also, I saw this Pocari Sweat Ion version. It's almost like a vitamin water. It's pretty good. Kept me alive.
Check this shit out. I'm pretty sure this costs like nothing.
Ah yes, the day that I had 2 concerts. I started the day with a hearty meal from the nearby Saizeriya, and then wandered this bookstore. I saw a bunch of manga for anime I enjoy, like Nagatoro, Blue Lock, Yuru Camp, and more. As for the concerts themselves, luckily the first concert was in Odaiba, which was pure chance, so it made it easier for me to hop to the station nearby and make it to Saitama for the last day of Viva La Rock. The first concert was for the very talented voice actress and singer Sora Amamiya. She voices some of my favorite anime characters, Aqua from Konosuba being the all-time fave. And so this was a nice treat. The show was actually sold out, but they opened up standing tickets, and I managed to win one of them via lottery. I snuck out just before the end of the show to get to Viva La Rock on time, and went to go only see one band, Sim or Silence Is Mine. I was typically in the stands for the festival, but I made sure to be on the floors for this one. I needed to experience the Rumbling, an opening song for Attack on Titan, which is the best show ever, like not just anime, best show ever, in the floor of the arena. Holy shit, I wanted to cry. This was so fucking sick, and I'll never forget it. They put on a killer show overall, and I'm glad Sim is at a point where they can now do world tours, because I'm actually going to get to catch them in Canada. Also, these beer snacks from Lawson are amazing. These, plus a beer, are a nice way to wind down.
Well, there's a Pokemon Center here, so that's where we go.
With all the concerts out of the way, you'd think that it's time to rest, right? Wrong. I needed to go to a Pokemon Center that was sorta easily accessible from Odaiba, which was Pokemon Center Tokyo Bay in Chiba. Very close to seeing all the Pokemon Centers in Japan at this point, not including Pokemon stores like in Narita Airport, by the way. They had some cool new stuff featuring Raikou and Rayquaza, and the mascots here were Chespin and Scorbunny. Some interesting things caught my eye, mostly the good amount of stock on things, but otherwise it's pretty similar to all the others, and I would buy the whole store if I could. Here you can see me being escorted out of the mall by this employee because she didn't like that I was filming in there. Just kidding. She was actually showing me the way to something really cool.
Okay. Thank you. So, I just had an employee from the Pokemon Center escort me to this giant Pikachu, which you can see over there. Look at this thing. No, no kidding, it is fucking huge.
After this, I went to Kura Sushi, and I didn't take any pictures of the food, but I did this. When I got back to Odaiba, the sun was setting, so it made for a nice walk in the area. I hadn't been to this particular part of Odaiba since literally my second day in Japan, really my first full day of Japan, and that was to catch the Arch Enemy concert. It's crazy to think how much I've done since then. I love this area. I guess that way. Pump the ISO and see what this is like.
That was a nice little stroll. Why aren't there more people doing this stroll? That was very pleasant. And there's these nice little bench areas. Nice. Oh, I gotta go that way. I gotta do the fucking Tokyo sign. If I don't, was I ever in Tokyo? I don't know if you can hear me because I know there's wind blowing, but I've only got 2 weeks left as of recording this. Literally 2 weeks to the day. And it's very sad. I think it's very sad because knowing I'm going to leave and not knowing when I'm going to come back. But that's life, right? I mean, I don't live here. I'm not from here. So, it is what it is. I very much would jog, just like I see so many other people jog. And I'm not even a jogging person, but I definitely would do it. Just cause.
The next day, I was set to use the JR Pass one last time before it was up. I decided to take a day trip to Osaka to hit up the Pokémon Center that I missed last time because I wasn't going to let that one escape me, the Nintendo store, and get a bunch of food, then head back to Odaiba. But I'll explain what happened while I slow motion tour around Pokémon Center Osaka. On my way to Osaka on the Shinkansen, I got a clear view of Mount Fuji. This was Tuesday, and I was set to go to Fuji on Thursday of this week. However, seeing it clear sparked me to check the forecast for the rest of the week, and just my luck, the Thursday was going to be rainy. Wednesday though, literally the next day, clear just like this day. I immediately looked into the buses that would take me there and consulted with my friend John, if you remember him from a previous episode. I had a ticket to see Team Lab Planets, and I was going to go check out some of the other attractions nearby in Odaiba, but I needed the push to change all my plans. It meant changing this day around, returning from Osaka earlier than anticipated, just to have more time in Odaiba to get a bunch of things done like shipping stuff home and prepping to leave my suitcase in storage and things. I would be losing the time to do these things by going to Kawaguchiko the next day, so this is what made the most sense. The priority here was seeing Fuji as clear as possible. After all, this was the pinnacle of the trip for me. I needed to see it. And so, I made all of the adjustments and was prepped to head to Kawaguchiko the next day. But this is where this episode ends. I know, it's a short one, relatively short. You'll get to see how it all unfolds in the final episode. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time in the last episode.